to another Kie Talk, AM edition, morning time talks with Kie. I still haven't figured out a name, so we're gonna just go with Kie Talk morning edition. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. In general, I'm Kie. Please subscribe to my channel if you have not already, so that you can stay abreast of all the great videos and the things happening over here at OK Kie. Follow me on Instagram at ok.kie so we can get to know each other more, and you can pretty much see the behind the scenes things of my life, even though I'm sharing it here on YouTube too. Instagram is a fun place to go as well, so follow me on Instagram. As you guys know, or as I've said before, I'm using these morning drives to work. Since it takes me 45 minutes to get to work, I'm using these drives to work to kind of reflect on just the things that I've been thinking about. Some people reflect in the shower, some people reflect taking a walk. I reflect a lot in my car, and I think it's because I spend so much time in my car. It just puts me in a place where I feel like I have to reflect because I have so much time. I don't always want to listen to music or have noise in the background. So I just use the time to pray, reflect, and kind of just ground myself for the day's work. Especially since I work in the mental health field and I'm working with children. So I really have to find ways, I always have to find ways to ground myself before I get to work. Because if I don't, I get overwhelmed by some of the things that I experience on a daily. So this is my reflection tidbit. And yeah, and I like talking to you guys as I'm on my way to work. So if I can reflect and talk to my friends, it's a win-win. This morning I am reflecting on how hard on myself I am. I have made the decision to get consistent again with my YouTube videos and try to just be diligent with actually recording things that's happening in my life, and recording my journey and the things that I keep telling myself that I want to do, but I get really lazy and I don't want to do it. And so now I feel like as I'm getting into the momentum of recording videos, imposter syndrome is kind of creeping in. And imposter syndrome is something that I've always kind of dealt with, but I haven't dealt with, if that makes sense. So when it flares up, I know what it is, but I suppress it most of the time. I'm being transparent. I do suppress it most of the time because it's just not something that I care to deal with. And I thought there was ambulance behind me. And sometimes I could just be in denial about how I feel. But now that I am diving back into the YouTube world and the vlogging world and recording my life world, I just feel like I am nitpicking every little thing that I'm doing. So I get really frustrated with myself if I don't have proper lighting. I get really frustrated with myself because right now, since I'm just now starting out and I'm kind of growing from the bottom up, I'm frustrated with the fact that I have to use my iPhone to record videos, even though I know 95% of YouTubers either started with their iPhone or they're continuing with their iPhone. But for some reason, I just feel like I'm the exception and I need to have all this lavish equipment. And I don't know where I got that thought process from, but that's honestly how I feel, and that's honestly how I have been feeling. And I think that's what has been deterring me from making YouTube videos, because the perfectionist in me and the imposter in me feels like if it's not at a top tier where I envision it to be, it's not good enough. And I know that's obviously not a good thing, but this is the purpose of the journey, for me to reflect on these things that have been holding me back, and to reflect on the things that I haven't really, that just don't work for me or don't work for my mental health and don't work for my progression. So that's the purpose. The purpose is to talk about it and to talk openly and transparently about it. And my transparent moment is I'm a perfectionist, and I could be and I have the ability to be a perfectionist, and nobody really cares like that. I mean, I don't know why. I mean, obviously I care because I like quality things and I want things to be quality in the way that I like them. But I really don't think the people that rock with me or the people that watch my videos and read my blogs are going back oh, she had a tree in the background in her video. It's not quality or something stupid like that. But for some reason, I tell myself these things. That the opinions of others, who I don't even really care about probably, matter. So the people that are going to nitpick every part of my video and every part of the fact that I do things the way that I do it right now, they're going to be the ones that bring everything down. Another thing that I was thinking, I don't wear makeup 24/7. So you go on YouTube, you go on Instagram, you have people who wear makeup and you have people who dress up and do the most for their videos. While I get looking nice for your videos, I also understand looking presentable. And I think I look presentable. I just come as my natural self because this is my everyday thing. I don't necessarily like makeup. I've never been the girliest of girly girls. I'm more, I would think I'm more on the tomboy side. Other people may think differently based off of how I dress or whatever. But when I get dressed, I like to dress up. But when I don't necessarily have to get like that nice or have to put much effort, that sounds really bad. I like to put effort into things, but if I don't have to put makeup on, I'm gonna save my pores the trip. I'm gonna save my pores the trip. I already have sensitive skin as it is, and I'm trying to clear it up and make it look better. So adding makeup on my face every day for a YouTube video that I'm trying to be consistent, for YouTube videos that I'm trying to be consistent with, is kind of unrealistic for me. And I have to be okay with that. I have to be okay with the fact that I'm not always going to have on makeup. When I do have on makeup and when I do decide to look cute and when I do decide to kind of like glam everything up, that's beautiful. But if I choose to not put makeup on, then that's okay too. And it is what it is. My pores and my skin will love me for deciding not to stretch it out and not to stress it out with makeup every day. And then I got to go home and I have to wash it off and I have to do this. I ain't trying to do it, y'all. I'm not. Let me know in the comments if you want me to put makeup on. Either way, I don't care. So actually, don't let me know in the comments. I don't even know why I said that. Probably going to take that part out of the video because I don't care. So yeah, that's the bulk of my reflection this morning. I'm definitely going to pray about it. I probably should have prayed about it first. I definitely should have prayed about it first. But I think the first part to my prayer is reflecting on what I wanted to pray about. And so I didn't want to lose the thought. So I made sure to just start recording it really quick so that I know I had it down. And then now that I have an idea of what I'm trying to articulate to myself and what I'm trying to say, I know that I can pray about it and it be the way that I guess makes sense to me. Because sometimes, I said this in my previous video too, but sometimes I feel like I pray about things and my words are all over the place sometimes. And I'm like, God, let me know if this is, this is too choppy or if it's not making any sense, because sometimes when it comes out of my mouth, I'm like, what are you trying to say? I know God is not doing that, obviously, because God hears my prayers. But again, it's me being inside my head and thinking that everything has to be perfect, even for God, which is ridiculous because we know that that's not a thing. Just working on my imposter syndrome, working on my perfectionist syndrome, just trying to be more open and willing to fail, to start from the beginning, to grow from the beginning, to see my progress over time. I'm using my iPhone now, but I may not need to use my iPhone next year or in 6 months. Who knows, So I don't want to knock small beginnings because I feel like the more that I get in my head about the perfectionism or how everything needs to look or feel or whatever, I'm going to not want to do it at all. So the fact that I only have an iPhone, that's a deterrent for me sometimes. It's like, man, I'm tired of recording on my iPhone. My iPhone doesn't have any space. I need to get another camera. I need to do this. I need to do that. I need to be consistent. Why would I spend $800-900 on a camera and I can't even be consistent on an iPhone? That means I'm going to spend that money on the camera and not be consistent, and then that's going to be a waste of money, and then I'm going to be upset with myself because it's another project that I've started and didn't complete because I'm not consistent because I'm in my head about it. So cheers to getting out of my head. Cheers to embracing the fact that this is Kie now. This is where I am. It's okay. It will not stay this way forever. The more I get into it, the more I learn about it, the better it becomes. And it's okay to start small, even though it's not really small. And I shouldn't even call it that because this is a big deal to me. This is completely outside of my comfort zone to even be talking to you guys right now, and not only talking to you guys. It's one thing to talk to you guys, it's another thing to post it on the internet for other people to see and other people to critique if they wanted to. And I have to be vulnerable enough and understand that that's okay, because I know that I'm doing what I feel like my heart is supposed to be doing. I'm showing the candid, ashy, need a retwist version of what growth looks like. Growth does not look like glam and fashion and cuteness all the time. Growth looks like doubt. Believe it or not, growth looks like doubt. Growth looks like reflection. Growth looks like starting from the bottom and moving up. Growth looks like pain. Growth looks like whatever it needs to look like in your growing season. And so I'm growing in every aspect of my life, whether it be personally or it is creatively. This is a growing opportunity for me. And so I'm just reflecting on the fact that I'm growing, and growth is not always cute, and that's okay. It's okay. And whoever told me it wasn't okay is a lie, okay? Whoever told me that things have to be perfect is a lie. Because 10 times out of 10, the things that whoever told me was supposed to be perfect was chaos in their life. And if they sat back one day and just realized that it doesn't have to be perfect, I can grow and I can show and I can be my true authentic self while I'm doing it, maybe they wouldn't be walking around telling other people that it needs to be perfect. And I'm not, and that's my story. I am not telling y'all to be perfect. I would rather you come as you are. Come as you are, Kie. That's what God said too. Come as you are, sis. Come as you are, my daughter. That's my truth for today. Thank you for joining Kie Talks. I really like these talks, and I'm going to do some more often. Let me know in the comments if there's a specific topic you would like for me to bring up in Kie Talks. And also let me know in the comments your thoughts about perfectionism and imposter syndrome. If this is something that you struggle with, I would love to hear your stories as well. So leave it in the comments so that we can kind of like start a conversation around it, because it is something that needs to be talked about, especially if you're going through your own growth journey. So leave it in the comments. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. We don't talk about it enough. We don't talk about the small beginnings enough. And I think it would just be helpful. Yeah, so I love y'all. Have a great day. I think I'm pretty grounded, ready to face today. But yeah, see y'all later. Bye.